Well, I guess I have no choice, unfortunately.
Are you already that bored? What exactly are you expecting to achieve? Wait, why are the cameras? Oh, never mind. I'm sick of looking journalistic based anyway. Listen, if my control room bores you, then write an article about it. I have work to do.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was still going to kill me or not. I really hate to do this, considering all the work he's achieved. I'm sure he could figure it out, given more time. It sucks that I have to destroy all the work he's ever done. It really goes everything that I want to do in my life, so... Okay, I just died. Oh, fudge, it's a moving fan. I'll just stay in this one. I should have got a choice. I mean, I guess my choice is deciding if I wanted to stay in that room or not. I don't want to do this.
Lightmatter. If you proceed any further, it will annihilate you in ways...
Sorry, Virgil. I have no choice. That sucks.
Journalist. Tell me, what were you doing before I first spotted you? Stealing photon crystals? Stealing data from our servers? I know what you are. Spy! Did Arthur send you? Is your loyalty that blind? Think about that night. He tried to overload the core. What if he caused the shadow anomalies? And all of that complaining? I can't control the shadows. Well, I can't control the shadows, and that's because of him! It's all because of Arthur!
That's a window. It sucks because, like... I just saw this from the beginning. It was kind of obvious in that regard. It was obvious that I was getting out of control and it had to be shut down.
Who cares if the shadows destroy a couple of cities? Without Lightmatter, we won't just lose cities, we'll lose our future!
Look, dude, I'm sure if you did a couple more studying sessions of it, you'd be able to figure it out.
I am going to shove you into a hole so dark, even photon crystals won't be able to reach. Hear me, spy!
I'm sorry, was I supposed to move? One more, I guess.
Not so fast! Mark my words, spy! Before this is over, my shadows will disintegrate you atom by atom! James! What took you so long? What? Who is this? In the facility? When did he leave? James! Where are you, James? The spy is almost at the final switch! Get down there and stop this! Now!
This is only delaying the inevitable. I hope people realize. It's only a matter of time before someone else decides they want to try to go with this material.
Your crusade is over! James will find you! He will crush you! He will rip you apart! One limb at a time! And it won't be quick. No! You will suffer and you will beg! Beg for my shadows to erase you from your miserable existence! You're trapped. Our time together is finally at an end. Now watch as I close the gate and relegate you to darkness. Ah, James, you made it. You're just in time to watch this vermin get devoured by the shadows. Pest control. The applications for Lightmatter truly are... James, what are you doing? No, James, don't! James! You traitor! I thought you were better than this. Better than Arthur. Better than... You... Don't pull that lever. Do you want money? Power? Please, I will give you anything. And Arthur, he can have Lightmatter. Just think about what you're throwing away. We can power the world. We can save humanity from pollution. We can save humanity from itself.
Lightmatter is ruined. I do not have the resources to set up another operation. Last year, 200,000 died from floods, 2.5 million died from pollution, 3.4 from starvation. Yes, I was reckless, but I was reckless for them. Every shortcut I took, every moral I compromised, was for their benefit. Yes, Lightmatter had issues. But now I'll never know if I could have solved it. I was never given a chance to see if I could have solved it. Their deaths are on you.
Ouch. That's true. Hated to do it. I effing hated it so much. That's the end! That's the end of Lightmatter. An unfortunate ending. Pretty horrible ending. People being consumed by shadows is a pretty severe thing compared to some of the other things that have been created. But there were so many benefits to the material. And it sucks for someone as me, an engineer, a scientist, inventor, to have to destroy it, because I get it. I get exactly what he was trying to get. I get exactly what he was trying to accomplish. It was a good game. I'm not saying this game was bad at all. This game was fantastic. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I had fun with it the whole way. I just was unhappy that I didn't get a choice. I don't know. Arthur is a little bit weird because he basically went from a partner with Vigil and then all of a sudden to just try and destroy everything. I don't understand his motives very well in that regard. Hello everyone. I'm back in this game, back in Lightmatter, because there's something I wanted to show everyone here, something that I felt like that needed to be shown. It answered some more questions, particularly about the game, particularly about the option of choice. So, for people that don't know, you can sit in this particular room right by the switch after you deactivate the laser beam that's affecting the Lightmatter core, and if you wait 21 minutes, you'll get an alternate ending, essentially. Now, I first stumbled upon this from looking at the achievement list. I was curious to see if there's anything else left to do in this game, because if you remember from me playing the game, I was pretty distraught at turning off, or not turn off, overloading the crystal. And I didn't want to do it at all. In fact, it was something that was against everything I did. This is like really cool new property material, and I didn't want to see it destroyed and the research facility completely destroyed along with it. I wanted to explore a little bit, and I also was thinking significantly more about this game after the fact. Now, when I was researching about this game, about the plot, about the story a little bit more, as I typically do in games that interest me, such as this one, I found out a couple of interesting things and a couple of things that kind of holes in the theory behind this Lightmatter material. Now, while we wait for the 21 minutes to pass, I will quickly explain everything. And I've already seen this alternate ending once. I didn't think it would be much of anything, but I thought it was substantial enough to at least show everyone else and answer some questions from the game. So the core itself, Lightmatter, is 107% efficient, according to the game, according to Virgil at least. That means that of the 100% energy put in, 7 extra percent of energy is getting put out, thus creating infinite energy and breaking the laws of physics. Specifically, the laws of thermodynamics. But specifically, what laws of physics this game is really breaking is the laws of thermodynamics. The first law, in particular, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. This seemingly interesting material is creating 7% extra energy from nothing, therefore creating energy and therefore breaking the first law of thermodynamics, which is impossible, according to what we humans have found throughout the years of researching different types of materials and properties, etc. So it's important to note that there is often a misconception that nothing is 100% efficient according to the laws of thermodynamics. That's not true, per se. Nothing's 100% efficient from going from a low quantity energy to a higher quantity energy. Now, what do I mean from that? Energy has different levels of quantity to it. There is a higher raw level of energy compared to some lower power of energy. For example, the power in your homes is a high quality of energy, and then power going to, say, a heater is a low form of energy, going into form of heat. It's a lower form of energy, whereas the electricity is more of a higher power. So in that case, going from high power quality energy to a low power quality energy is, in fact, 100% efficient. Space heaters are mostly 100% efficient. It's going the reverse that's impossible. You can't take a low quality energy and convert it to high quality energy without losing some of that energy to the environment. Going back to the laws of physics, our guy Arthur says that it's impossible to break the laws of physics, which is true based off of what we've studied as a race and society over the thousands of years that we've been on this planet. Now, is it possible that there is a material or substance that could break a said law that we've defined? Technically, yes, However, it's very unlikely. When something becomes a theory to a law, it needs to be tested and proved over and over and over and over again. Which is why we have Newton's laws of motion and gravity, and the laws of thermodynamics, and there are probably significantly more laws. But is it possible for something to break that said law? Technically, yes. There may be a property of something that could theoretically break one of the laws of physics. Because we gotta remember, we as a society define the laws of physics. Now, that's not to say that the laws of physics are clearly breakable, because they're not. They've been proven over and over again, and we've studied it, and the odds of it happening now are significantly less likely. But there is always a possibility, even a small one, that something like that could, in fact, happen with a specific material. But it's very unlikely. And this material itself seemingly is creating energy from nothing. However, that's not the case, not according to the game. Where that extra 7% energy is coming from is organisms and organics that are consumed by the shadows that is being produced. That's our enemy. However, there is one particular flaw that I've noticed in the game. Remember back when we saw plants in this game? Remember how some of the plants were in the shadows and they weren't consumed by the shadows? And Lightmatter made them grow faster and bigger? So, there's two things here. One, plants, cellulose, are not consumed by the shadows, meaning the energy is not gathered from them. If that's the case, then it's something within not just human beings, but within animals in general. So plants clearly are not being consumed by energy, which is good, because if they were, then you could eventually catch it in a catch-22 situation and break the first law of thermodynamics again, because if the light from light matter makes plants grow faster, bigger, stronger, etc., and then the shadows can consume that to get energy back, then you could technically have an infinite amount of energy being created that is assuming that the amount of energy to put into the plants is the same or less than the energy that you would get out of plants, which isn't possible according to the first law. It shouldn't happen, but this is a game, so you know. So far as we know, humans are the only people that are consumed by the shadows. Now, doesn't make sense unless we extend the fact to all living creatures, not including plants. This crystal is drawing energy from organics, so what happens when there's nothing to draw it from anymore? The crystal itself is self-sustaining, meaning it's able to keep itself powered, kind of like how fusion can power, where you need to get enough power to start the reaction process, and then it can sustain itself through the energy it produces of the reaction process. So something chemically is happening within this crystal light matter that's producing these shadow entities to gather energy. But I do not think you can gather enough energy from living organisms to get a 7% output boost from the energy put in. Now, it doesn't matter the energy. Well, now, it does matter the energy level. If you were to put 1 watt of energy in, you would get 1.07 watts out, which you could probably get enough energy from a living organism that easily. I would argue you probably easily can get that much energy from a human. But if you're putting megawatts of power into this crystal, and you're getting that same percentage out, where is that energy coming from? Certainly not living organisms. There's no way. Hundreds of megawatts being put in, producing excess of hundreds of megawatts, and then if you want more, gigawatts. I thought we crashed it. If you increase that manner significantly, I think we crashed. Oh my god, seriously? Alright, so my screen is frozen right now. But I'm still moving around. So that's fine. The end cutscene isn't really, it just kind of fades to black and we just hear some dialogue anyways, so it's fine. So there's a hold here with it getting the excess energy from living organisms in the environment, not plant-based, because we've already confirmed that plants are not consumed by the shadows. But if you're putting in hundreds of thousands of megawatts into these crystals and getting 107% efficiency out of it, you cannot get that much energy from living organisms, period. It's no. What particularly about living organisms have the energy? The flesh, the blood, the bones, the glucose, the sugars? I don't know. Maybe there's something in the crystal that makes it more efficient, but even then, when it runs out, what's going to happen? But I hope I got the idea across that considering plants are not consumed by this shadow entity produced by this light matter, and the only other thing it consumes is living organisms, and we're just going to be generous here, of any kind, including insects, including on the microscopic level. If you were to put trillions of watts into this thing and get 107% efficiency out, you could not get enough energy from all living organisms to produce that power.
Listen, there is no easy way to say this, but once the shadows reached beyond this mountain, they started spreading exponentially. The entire planet is now engulfed by the shadow anomalies, and billions are dead, which is tragic, but also an opportunity. Just think about it. Human overpopulation and reckless energy consumption were some of the greatest challenges this planet ever faced. And now, those challenges are relegated to history. Yes, civilization has collapsed, but it will be rebuilt with light matter as its foundation. Now, you have proven yourself to be a loyal assistant, so I'm opening the doors. Join me in my office. Your promotion awaits.
The doors open up, we look at the doors, we walk towards the doors, screen fades to black.
At last we meet. Before we continue our partnership, I will now baptize you as James. The future is in our hands, James. Together, we will shape the world in my image.
So that's the other ending, and we crashed the game. Okay. So, there's something to unpack there. Now, if we didn't crash the game, after that cutscene, the end credits would start rolling. Well, we crashed the game, somehow. So, that's the other ending. Either you're blamed for the death of people dying from pollution, of hunger, etc., or you let it go, and billions of people die because of the shadows. Well, definitely not a great ending. Did Virgil have something worth exploring and building upon for the future? Yes, I believe that this material is very fascinating and has a lot to be learned from it. However, he didn't take the time and money needed to research it as closely and as deeply needed before just going straight up to fast production of it and trying to produce it. He had noble intentions at heart, but he tried to move too quickly with them. unfortunately, that's where this story ends. And I hoped everyone enjoyed. I enjoyed it. Now, does the things I pointed out make make the story crap, make the game crap? No, absolutely not. I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the game. Could things have ended better? Yes. Or am I kind of sick of the trope now of every narrator that we hear in our life is evil and should not be trusted? Yes. We've seen that with Portal. We've seen that with Stanley Parable. We've seen that kind of slightly with Quantum Conundrum. I don't have that footage up on my game. I don't have that footage up on my channel because I played that before I started YouTube. But yeah, I'm kind of sick of the trope of the narrator is a liar, is a manipulator, is evil. But then again, that's probably because I play too many of these games. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the game down in the comments below. I hope to see everyone in the next stream. Until then, bye-bye!